Well, with me is Rob Murthwaite from the campaign group Disabled People Against Cuts, who took part in the austerity protest today. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. It's good to see you. How will the cuts affect you personally and the people that you represent in the group that you campaign for?
Well, I personally work full-time, but I'm in receipt of disability living allowance,
right,
which is a benefit paid to meet the additional cost of being disabled, and I stand a chance of losing a large chunk of that when the move to introduce PIP comes in next year. Right.
So it's the move from the disability living allowance towards this universal benefit.
It's more substantial than that, what is happening. I mean, last year the Daily Mirror published an article in which they said they had information which showed that in an 8-month period from January through to August last year, 32 disabled people a week were dying after going through the work capability assessment and having their benefits cut. That situation is set to get worse for all disabled people. There was a report in the newspapers last week that reported on a commission headed by Tanny Gray-Thompson, which said 450,000 disabled people stand to lose substantial amounts of money because of the benefits changes in the coming period.
And part of the package of changes is that the government wants to have more stringent medical assessments to make sure people don't get the money indefinitely if their condition improves. To a lot of people, that would seem to make sense.
I think that does make sense. I mean, most disabled people want to work. Is the truth.
Yeah.
I've worked all my life, and I think most disabled, everybody's better off if they work than if they're claiming benefits. The truth is there are many disabled people out there who are incapable of work. One of the things that's happening under the work capability assessment, run by Atos, a private company bought in by the government, is that there are people, even people who have terminal conditions like cancer, are being told they're fit for work. That is a disgrace. That cannot continue. We want to see an end to that, as does the BMA, of course.
I mean, the Department of Work and Pensions says that at the moment 70% of disability living allowance awards are open-ended, and there's no clear guidance on reporting a change in circumstance if someone's condition improves. Again, a lot of people would say that's an issue that's got to be dealt with.
That's not what the government is doing. The government has already set a target that they want to cut disability living allowance by 20% before they have looked at anyone's individual circumstances. What is going on here is an attempt to cut benefit, purely and simply an attempt to cut benefit. This is not about fairness. This is not about having a better system. It's purely and simply about cutting benefit.
But frankly, cuts are never fair, are they? I mean, you know, we're all in a mess as a nation, frankly. You know, salaries are being capped, people are suffering pay freezes, people are losing their jobs. Cuts aren't fair. Why should your group and the people that you represent be treated any differently to anybody else?
Well, I dispute that we're all in a mess, to be perfectly honest. I mean, first of all, I think that I think the problems with the economy aren't as great as the government says. And in any case, last year, the richest 1% saw their wealth grow by £18 billion.
Right. Okay.
If the richest 1% can gain by £18 billion, I do not see what the big problem is with benefits.
You said the country's not in as big a mess as everyone's claiming. The Labour leader stood up and said, Ed Miliband, he would have to make difficult choices as well. The unions help bankroll Labour, and their man is saying he would have to do the same. The general consensus is we are in a bad mess as a nation, financially.
Well, we don't accept that. I mean, we would say when a previous Labour leader, Clement Attlee, was in power, the national debt was a larger proportion of the GDP than it is today. Yet we were able to build the National Health Service, we were able to build council houses and expand education massively in the 50s and 60s.
OK, we'll leave it there. Rob Murthwaite from the campaign group Disabled People Against Cuts. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.